Hello, my dear friends, and thank you for watching. I see. Nothing like taking a video. You get to see what's in your beard. So, you know, there are two types of people living today. Actually, a lot of types, but we'll just talk about two. One type is, oh, if only everyone did this, everything would come right. And the other type is basically, I don't know if the word is depressed, but I see it with a lot of the youngsters today, a unique thing. People always felt part of a community, part of a society. But you've got these millions of people, you look at them and they're like, they're just in a different world. And it's almost like they're not feeling part of any whole. There was a book that was written called Born Alone. And this is a tragedy, a great tragedy, because without being negative and commenting how this began, so the story is, sorry, I need to wait for that to end. Thank you. So how did this happen? How did we get into a situation that people born into a society that takes care of them don't feel cared for? And if you don't feel cared for, you don't feel part of the society. And you may build resentment, and in fact, you may become against the society. So again, I don't want to label or point fingers of how such a really pernicious situation entered into the American psyche, which felt quite cared for and quite put together. But be that as it may, the fact is everything negative has a positive. There is no evil without good. Anything that happens is designed from God, and therefore, by nature of the fact it's designed by God means it has a purpose. So if something as disastrous as a generation being raised that feels that it's alienated from its own, perhaps, parents, certainly society, which I don't think has ever happened, there must be a very deep reason. I need to be honest with you. I was in prayer on the holiest day of the year, Yom Kippur. In fact, I was leading the prayer service in my synagogue. And of course, the mind goes and thinks, especially a holy day like Yom Kippur, where there's a lot of spiritual clarity. And I was a little worried about the elections. You know, say what you want about Trump, but I supported Trump with the belief, which I do not regret, that Trump was not your best option, he was your only option. Those that hate the Western civilization need not to be mollycoddled, need not to be invited in to destroy us, but need, unfortunately, due to their psyche, to fear us. And I would go so far as to say, I have a website, neverEverAgain.org, that unless you get rid of all weapons, certainly nukes, from Islamic countries, it's just, I don't want to be negative, but it's like Einstein said, technology in the hands of a psychopath is like giving an axe murderer an axe. So I was thinking about the elections then, and it came to me that whatever God would do, whether he would put in Hillary or Trump, one thing that in a way they both had in common, but I think Trump even more than Hillary, is God will put in someone that people don't identify with. And the reason I say that is because there's a time to grow up. And growth, ironically, can only come when we lose our thought that we are part of a group. And the reason for that is, when God told Abraham he was forming a new identity, a new nation, a new religion, a new people, he told him you have to leave everything behind. Leave your country, leave your birthplace, leave even you, your perception of you. Because if you wish to become all you can be, that must begin by leaving behind all you can't be. Because as long as you're stuck, as long as you're in a pit, you're not free. And though groups have a tremendous quality, they also have a tremendous liability. And the liability of groups is what's called groupthink. And studies show that when people are in groups, they will give up their personal opinion in order to maintain fidelity to the group. And so it's not even like they think that I'm giving up their opinion. When we have a desire, like the drug addict, he doesn't think I'm a drug addict. Every drug addict will tell you I'm not a drug addict. Why? Because he is a drug addict. The only one who can't see it is him. And the same thing is when you are part of groupthink. You think a Nazi thought I'm a killer. I'm not a killer. I'm doing the noble work of the Fuhrer. So groupthink is a powerful tool, both for the good and for the bad, but most often for the bad. And therefore God wants you, yes, you, to think. Shut off the cell phone. Every day you have to spend an hour thinking. Take a couple of deep breaths. Have no technology and just think. Think. Take a walk. Think. Just be with your own brain. What is truth? What isn't truth? Where am I going? Where do I want to go? Am I happy? Am I not happy? Which relationships are working? Which ones aren't working? Because until you make those decisions in your life, those decisions are being made for you. Each one of us is challenged to be our own master. And in fact, it's very interesting. In Kabbalah, it says that there are three masters of every human being. The Mayach, the head, the Lev, the heart, and the Kalev, I think it's liver, which represents our mind can rule us. I'll do what I think I should be doing. Our emotions can rule us. I'll do what makes me feel good, which part of feeling good can be part of being part of a group, even though it may not be what I think I should be doing. And therefore, we have the mind-body war, and the ego being the worst case scenario where I'm just stubborn. I have to get my way. It doesn't matter even if it's good for me or not. Because I want it, I must get my way. So my blessing to each and every one of us is that we should grow up. We should take responsibility. Nobody's thought process, including your parents, including your rabbi, which may be me, should be yours. You have to determine your own belief system, what is true and what isn't true. And you have to be like Abraham. Be ready. And this is a line that I came up with. What is a Jew? Somebody who seeks, finds, lives, and is even ready to die for the truth.